Joker in
that never happened. We'll hear his story. Also, the battle over Beatles music with Michael Jackson caught in the middle. And is it the story of the tail wagging the dog? Wait till you hear about this new contraption. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sarah Lee Kessler. Our top story today, tragedy out on Long Island. Twisted jealousy has cut short the lives of two young lovers. 20-year-old Shaleen Wadhwani was planning to go to medical school in the fall and then get married. But police say that Wadhwani's fiancé had a jealous acquaintance who refused to accept her engagement to another man. Police say 35-year-old Chandra Nathan went to the man's home in Manhasset and pumped 20 gunshots into the victim. He's been charged with second-degree murder, but it seems the gunman killed more than the man who stood in his way. Police say that the woman at the center of this love triangle has committed suicide. They say 21-year-old Hema Sakrani jumped from her 16th floor apartment in Rego Park at 9 o'clock this morning. Now to some more pleasant news. Spending a hot holiday weekend on a New York beach, it's something that a lot of us used to do, but do New York shores still have that old attraction? Reg Wells is live in Brighton Beach. Hi, Reg.
Sarah, I've done something you haven't done. I've been to the beach already this season. We're at the ocean, but we're also in New York City. That's the Brighton Beach train station. This is the boardwalk, and of course over here is the ocean. And if you so choose this weekend, you could probably have a very good time at the beach. The whitecaps are gone, but some of the signs of the ravages of two winter storms remain. But for the most part, New York City's beaches are ready for the invasion of sunbathers and water lovers. Memorial Day, the first weekend of the summer beach season. It is everybody's swan dive into summer. City officials are hoping it won't be a belly flop. This may be New York City, but this is also the Atlantic Ocean. Can it compare with other oceanfront communities?
I don't think there's no beach like a city beach. I mean,
there's no beach like a city beach?
Meaning that this is where people that live within the city who have no means of going out to Long Island, this is where they come for recreation.
Brooklyn this weekend has some of the world's best groomed beaches. As for the water, people actually went in, although others merely got their feet wet.
It's cold, but you get used to it as long as you just dive in.
It's fun. It's cold, too. You gotta get used to it.
We just came to take a tan, that's all.
So if life is a beach, there's a lot of living to do in New York City this weekend. So what happened there is we walked down to the shore and didn't mean to go in the water, but the water came to us. So that's one of the things when you go to the beach, to watch out for tides. So Sarah, come on down.
I'd love to. Do you have your shoes off, Reg?
No, I didn't. And I have a tremendous amount of salt in my socks.
That's what I can imagine. All right, we'll have a good time. If you are heading to the New Jersey shore, you should have no problem finding an open beach despite all the severe storms of the past winter. Things are looking pretty good for the surf and for the sand, so you can pack up the family, get out those broad-brimmed hats, and don't forget the sunscreen for some safe fun in the sun. Now we're going to Lloyd Lindsay Young to take a look at our weather. How good is it going to be, Lloyd?
Well, I'll tell you what, Sarah Lee, if you want to throw a barbecue in your backyard, it's going to be pretty good. If you want to go to the beach, I got to tell you, it's not going to be that great. It's going to be too cool. Here's the problem. We have a warm front that is trying to get into the metropolitan area. By the time it gets here, another cold front from the west will swoop in late tonight. So I'll tell you what, even though it's not going to rain and it's just going to be too darn chilly, here's the way we've broken it down. 60s along the shore tomorrow afternoon. And as Reg mentioned, the water, or at least the people he interviewed, they felt chilly in the water. Here's why. The ocean temperature is 57 degrees. I don't know about you, but I'm not jumping into 57 degrees. 70s inland, partly sunny, I think would be a way to describe it. Will we get any rain tonight, though? That's a possibility. We'll have more on that later in the broadcast. And we'll go into the weekend in greater depth when we come back. But a beach weekend, not really. Sarah Lee?
All right. Thanks, Lloyd. And with the nice weather comes a lot of outdoor events for this Memorial Day weekend. Fleet Week already is underway, and you can tour vessels at piers in Manhattan and Staten Island through Monday. Tomorrow kicks off the first Soho Festival. The fun includes magicians, art, and jewelry displays. Also tomorrow, Crown Heights hosts a day of music and ethnic harmony with a unity concert. Increase the Peace featuring the one and only Richie Havens. Music also will fill the air in Riverdale, New Jersey. On Sunday, the Marshall Tucker Band and others will perform at a concert. And runners get ready for the 18th annual Ridgewood Run on Memorial Day. The starting time is 8:45 a.m. And as we head into the holiday weekend, the supermarket strike heads toward its fourth week. This morning, more picket lines went up. Workers at 253 stores are now on strike. Union leaders say last night negotiators were close to reaching a contract agreement, but management asked for more concessions, so no one agreed on anything, and the talks, fortunately, are continuing. President Clinton's tax plan is now headed for the Senate after it passed the House by a razor-thin margin. Skip Lozier reports even that margin of victory made the president happy.
The president praised House Democrats for what they did. His economic plan only passed by the skin of its teeth, but a win is a win. And the House gave Mr. Clinton what he needed, a chance to fight again in the Senate.
We have broken the gridlock. We are taking responsibility for the future. We are dealing with the tough problems.
It was a must-win for Speaker Tom Foley, too, and he let House Democrats know it.
This is the time to stand and deliver. This is the time to justify your election and the confidence the American people have given in sending you to this chamber.
The win was absolutely critical for the president, and he knew it.
We're working on it.
President Clinton spent most of Thursday working on it, burning up the phone lines from the Oval Office to Capitol Hill, working with Democratic House leaders to round up enough votes from conservatives in his own party to pass his economic plan. Adding deficit reduction guarantees helped.
We think that the compromise we struck on spending limitations to make sure that we meet our deficit reduction goals is a compromise that brings more support to this plan.
But that wasn't enough for some conservative Democrats.
This will cost me 1,000 jobs, and I'll be damned if I'm going to lose another job, whether it has a Republican name or a Democrat name.
But in the end, arguments like this from Wisconsin Democrat Dave Obey carried the day.
The president deserves a chance. Stand aside and give it to him.
And enough of them, barely enough, did.
The yeas are 219, the nays are 213, and the bill is passed.
The bill got just 2 votes more than were needed to pass. The president's plan faces even stiffer challenges in the Senate, and odds are it won't emerge from there unchanged. In Washington, Skip Lozier, Channel 9 News.
We have a lot more news for you coming up. You'll hear from a man accused of rape who turned out to be innocent. Plus, can you get cable TV? Our I-Team reports on why so many people in our area cannot. And if you cannot or do not want to walk your dog, have we got a contraption for you?
Capone's mistress becomes a witness to a gangland massacre.
I'm so sorry that this happened.
She's a bitter enemy's target for revenge.
You saw what happened in the alley last night, didn't you?
And she's the one person who can put Capone behind bars.
I have no choice but to hold her. It's for her own protection.
Now, will he sacrifice passion to save himself?
I'm in love with this girl.
On the next exciting episode of The Untouchables.
Monday at 9 on Channel 9.
Glad to see you're resting up, because this June, you're going to be doing a whole lot of traveling. June's when AT&T is putting the world on sale, with an extra 40% off the usual Reach Out World savings during special hours every Saturday and Sunday in June. There's a world full of people waiting to hear from you, so what are you waiting for? Sign up now, because there's no better deal out there. International savings, just another part of the I-Plan.
Fact. Each year in New York, over 100,000 people suffer disabling injuries in accidents. When least expected, you or a member of your family could be injured in an accident. The law allows you to retain a well-known established law firm to protect your rights with no charge until a cash settlement is made for you. To learn your legal rights at no cost, call toll-free 1-800-FACT-LAW. Give us the facts, we'll give you the law. That's 1-800-FACT-LAW.
For 25 years, people have been really happy to get their Valpak envelope. That's because for 25 years, the Valpak envelope has been filled with money-saving coupons. Coupons for products and services you really use right in your neighborhood. Things like dry cleaning, car repair, videos, and takeout food. Valpak, celebrating 25 years of savings.
Coming soon to a mailbox near you.
On Long Island today, a young family is living a nightmare. Amy and Rich Newman's 5-month-old daughter, Fia, is now in good condition with heat stroke. Amy, her daughter, and 2 sons went to a Hampton Bay stable to feed their horses. Fia had fallen asleep, and Amy left her in the back seat of the car. The windows were down except one. It had a sunscreen.
I checked on her 3 times, and the 4 times. The 4th time was the time that I found her. We're good parents. We know that we're good parents.
Apparently, one of Amy's young brothers rolled up the car windows thinking it might rain. Doctors think that even if the child survives, there will be some sort of damage. Melvin White was accused of a terrible crime, raping a little boy in Jersey City. He didn't. No one did. The boy lied. Robert Miller reports.
This is Melvin White after he was released from jail today.
Look of God. You look of God.
This is Melvin White in court earlier this week, charged with a brutal sexual assault of a 10-year-old boy in Jersey City late Monday afternoon. The child was found in an alley tied to a fence post. On the basis of his description, White was taken into custody.
The young boy was shown the defendant through a one-way glass and immediately identified him as the man who had assaulted him.
But at the boy's school, the youngster was described as having low self-esteem. That got people wondering. The prosecutor's office continued to investigate.
They began to interview individuals at the Greenville Bus Company concerning Mr. White's whereabouts on May 24th. Several individuals indicated his presence with them between 2:45 p.m. and 4 o'clock to 4:20 p.m.
White's family and friends rallied to his cause. The boy was interviewed several more times by investigators. Finally, he said he'd really been with 3 older boys that day, playing in the neighborhood.
They tied him to the post with his belt. They tied his feet with wire found in the alley, and they pulled his pants down. He denied being sexually assaulted by these boys. He claims to have called out on occasions when adults passed by, but was ashamed to call out whenever he saw any children in the area. He gave the original report of the incident because he thought no one would care about what happened to him unless he blamed an adult and alleged some sexual abuse.
The prosecutor noted that the boy apparently had been a sex abuse victim about 4 years ago in Mercer County. Reaction from White's family to the exoneration?
To make up a lie like that, he really has to have a problem. He needs help. He really does. Because to put somebody through this for nothing is ridiculous. It really is. You don't know what we've been through these past couple of days. Oh, God.
Melvin White's message to the people who helped him?
Tell them all thank you and bless them for being by my side when time of need.
Incidentally, when police picked up Melvin White originally, they also charged that he had a vial of cocaine in his hand. He's been told, he says, that that charge, too, will now be dropped. In Jersey City, Robert Miller, Channel 9 News.
An autopsy is scheduled to be performed today on a Newark mother and her 8-year-old daughter. Cynthia Austin and her daughter were found dead in their apartment yesterday. Relatives discovered the bodies. Police say it appears the mother and child were beaten to death. The woman's ex-boyfriend reportedly is wanted for questioning. Today, a hidden danger that could be threatening your health and the health of your children. The problem? Heating oil laced with toxic chemicals. Brenda Flanagan reports a sting called Operation Boilermaker has uncovered some frightening allegations.
250 agents seized oil terminals, tank trucks, records, and bank accounts in an undercover sting against what state investigators called environmental criminals. 10 New Jersey, New York, and Pennsylvania residents allegedly sold used heating oil contaminated with toxic cancer-causing pollutants to New York City schools and hospitals.
We allege that the individuals named in the complaint lined their pockets with taxpayers' money while they lined our lungs with pollutants.
This is nasty stuff, and nobody should think it's anything other than nasty stuff. It's going up into the air. Somebody was breathing it. Will that cause an immediate demonstrable health effect? Probably not. but it is we're subjecting ourselves and our families and our communities to further toxic substances.
According to investigators, the illegal operation used tank trucks to bring millions of gallons of hazardous used waste fuel into New Jersey from 7 states and Canada. They allegedly stored the tainted fuel at WWOR, a Newark oil terminal, then barged it to Cebro, a Bronx facility that investigators say mixed the used fuel with some virgin oil and then sold it at new oil prices, allegedly paying organized crime a penny a gallon kickback for permission to run the scam. The accused also allegedly sold toxic diesel oil to gas stations without paying millions of dollars in motor fuel taxes.
People buy the fuel with a tax-included price with the idea that this is going to help repair our roads and not go into the pockets of unscrupulous dealers.
Environmental officials say there's no way now to assess the health impact of the toxic oil on tens of thousands of people who breathed its fumes. The risk lies ahead. In Newark, I'm Brenda Flanagan, Channel 9 News.
Still ahead, Lloyd's holiday weather forecast. Also, a new type of flu that you might not be able to resist. Plus, AIDS hoaxes, rip-offs that prey on those desperately seeking help. And rapping with the Beatles, why Michael Jackson won't let it be.
Picture yourself in a boat on a river with tangerine trees and marmalade skies.
Want a great pair of legs, but you're tired of the same old routine? Well, then you've got to try the Twist and Ski.
Come on, let's twist and ski.
A great new breakthrough in aerobic exercise from Exercise by Nordic Track. Hey, this is the new, fun, and easy way to slim your waist, hips, and thighs for a great pair of legs. We're talking major results here, and all it takes is just 20 minutes 3 times a week. With the Twist and Ski, not only will you look better, you'll feel better too. Twist and Ski works your whole cardiovascular system, raising your metabolism and burning calories faster, up to 500 an hour. That means you'll get your heart in shape and lose weight faster. An easier workout with faster results. What could be better? Twist and Ski works your triceps for shapelier arms, your abdominals and obliques for a slimmer waist, your thighs and hips for great-looking legs, all in one easy motion. Ordinary exercisers don't work both your arms and legs, so you don't get a total body workout. And they don't have rotational motion to slim your waist and shape your legs. And they aren't as much fun as Twist and Ski. Order your Twist and Ski now for only 4 easy payments of $19.99. It's the best value in fitness today. Try it for 30 days, and if you don't agree, return it for a refund. Order now and receive a Twist and Ski workout video with 3 trimming and toning routines absolutely free. It's a $29.95 value. It's about time somebody made exercise this much fun.
Twist your way to great summer legs. Call now.
A moderate earthquake rattled windows and rocked homes in California's San Joaquin Valley. It hit just before 10 o'clock last night. The quake registered 5.0 on the Richter scale and was felt all the way in downtown Los Angeles. There were no immediate reports of damage or injuries. The earthquake was centered 16 miles south-southwest of Bakersfield. That's a town you know pretty well. You began your career there, didn't you?
No, not exactly, but that's my mother-in-law's home. And my son.
Well, did you call your mother-in-law?
No, not yet. I will. I promise. I didn't know about it. Sarah Lee, the weekend is coming up, and it's going to be a little bit on the cool side. 71 for fun. Feels pretty good. 42% humidity. Light breeze out of the south at 9. 30-10 falling on the barometer. Good afternoon. It is a Friday, everybody. I'm glad to see you out there today. We're gearing up for the weekend. Hello, North Arlington. John Masters. Happy birthday, John. 101 years young. Congratulations, sir. All right, on radar, there's a few showers up around Williamsport, Pennsylvania, a couple of scattered showers down in the Trenton area. Now, the showers down around Trenton are moving southeast and will not affect the tri-state area. They're heading southeastward. Probably, well, you know, the Jersey Shore north of Atlantic City might get a brief sprinkle in the next hour or two, or a brief light shower. But all in all, I think any activity will be rather isolated. There could be a few thunderstorms developing tonight ahead of a cold front that's moving in from the west. Heavy action out in Iowa. Scattered showers down in the Gulf Coast area. A lot of action in Florida today. The Sunshine State's not living up to its name. A lot of precipitation. Speaking of precipitation, I got to tell you, the month of May has been dry. I mean, really dry. Normal, better than 4 inches. So far, just 2/3 of an inch for the entire month. All right, take a look at the satellite picture. You know, there's really hardly anything noteworthy as far as clouds or precipitation. You can see a few clouds, as we mentioned, up in the Poconos and to the west out around Williamsport, Pennsylvania. But with a warm front to the south trying to struggle up here, it could set off a few thunderstorms in the area tonight. But anything that does occur will be isolated, widely scattered, and certainly not a big deal. 80s to the south, 60s to the north. Now, this cold front will be swooping in the tri-state area later tonight, ushering in cooler air, but dry for the weekend. 32 degrees, the national low at West Yellowstone, Montana. Today, cloudy, maybe a few isolated showers around, especially in South Jersey. High in the mid-70s. Tonight, partly cloudy, maybe a brief thunder bumper. Lows 60 to 65. Tomorrow, partly sunny and breezy. Highs in the mid to upper 70s away from the ocean, but 60s at the shore. Here's your 5-day outlook. 70s in the city and inland, 60s at the shore. Temperatures overnight in the 50s. It'll be dry, a good weekend to barbecue. Maybe go to the zoo, take the family for a drive. But as far as swimming, forget about it. 57 degrees in the ocean. I certainly, you know,
well, you could go in somebody's heated swimming pool, though.
Yeah, or you could stick your toesies in, maybe. But I wouldn't go. That's all I would do. I don't want to get a cold.
All right, Lloyd. Thank you. In the News at Noon Health Beat this Friday afternoon, a new flu. It's on the way from Beijing. It's a type A variety, and federal health officials think that it may hit hard next winter. Most Americans don't have any natural immunity to it, so the CDC plans to work the A Beijing strain into next year's flu vaccine. Well, many allergic people need allergy shots every year to help them deal with their allergies. And a new study today says that improving your environment can also help. Some of the major sources of indoor allergies are dust mites, fungi, house pets, and cockroaches. They can aggravate the situation. Here are the recommendations on the screen. Allergy sufferers are advised to wash linens in hot water every week, get rid of wall-to-wall carpeting, and cover pillows and mattresses with plastic. Hepatitis B, just how dangerous is it? So dangerous, all college students should be vaccinated against it. That recommendation comes from the American College Health Association. Hepatitis B cases among young adults have escalated nearly 80% over the past 10 years. The virus, which can be deadly, is spread mainly through sexual contact. In the search for a cure for AIDS, some people are offering false hope. Joe Benton reports.
What one might call snake oil.
The liquid in this bottle is a blend of what these people are calling snake oil. Its makers insist the drug, which is called Viroxin, a form of ozone, will cure more than 50 ailments, everything from cancer and AIDS to measles and acne. The drummers who peddle these cures use videotape to land their customers.
Most people will tell you there's no cures for AIDS. That's hogwash. Ozone will cure AIDS.
This group of ruthless, despicable hucksters and snake oil salesmen prey upon the vulnerabilities of people with AIDS, offering them false hope at a terrible price.
At a congressional hearing in Washington, Schumer charged that AIDS fraud has grown into an $80 billion annual menace. Jim Looney bought the Viroxin cure and the pain that came with it.
The shot had to be given with xylocaine because it was so painful that you needed to deaden the site where you gave the shot.
Looney is suing the people who sold him the treatment. Randy Payne followed a rainbow of promises all the way to an ozone clinic in Mexico.
The ozone was fed rectally until the patient could hold no more. This form of treatment was excruciating, producing almost unbearable stomach cramps.
U.S. Food and Drug Administration officials dismiss all of this as quackery.
And this product, Mr. Chairman, is the notorious ozone generator that you've heard so much about today. This is the tube by which the individual purports to be able to, excuse me, the wrong tube, but you get the idea, to put ozone into their rectum or their vagina, despite the fact that there is no medical evidence to support the efficacy of ozone.
While the people selling these drugs stick to their claims, their critics insist that people dealing with a terminal illness are easy marks. And while Congress tries to figure out a way to protect people with AIDS from people with a pocket full of promises, representatives here concede that the con game is likely to grow with the spread of the disease. Joe Benton, Washington.
Still ahead, cable TV. You may have it, but a lot of people in our area don't, and our I-Team explains why. And you might say only in LA, taking your dog for a run while you stand still.
Here's straight answers to questions about your hearing.
Sure, I ask people to repeat themselves.
A lot.
Does that mean I have a hearing problem?
Maybe you do, maybe you don't.
One way to find out is to take Beltone's free 10-step hearing test. Beltone's 10-step test will tell you what you're hearing and what you're not. If your test shows you don't need hearing help, we'll be the first to tell you. You'll even hear for yourself how a hearing aid could help you. Plus, when you're finished, we'll give you a copy of your test results to take home.
If you have questions about our free hearing evaluation, the choice is clear. Get the answers in Beltone's Guide to Better Hearing. It's free if you call this toll-free number now.
I love going out and having a good time, but sometimes all the noise makes it hard to hear what people are saying.
When you visit a Beltone center, we'll help you choose from over 60 different models of advanced Beltone hearing aids, like Clear Voice, custom-made to suit your individual hearing loss and lifestyle. In this noisy world, millions of Americans struggle to hear voices clearly. At Beltone, you'll deal with true professionals who really care about helping you enjoy the world around you more.
Want to know more about Beltone's products? The choice is clear. Get the answers by calling for your free guide to better hearing now.
I know I need a hearing aid, but I don't want to wear one of those big clunky things. Don't you have something I can wear that isn't so obvious?
Beltone's in-the-canal hearing aids are tiny. Some are no bigger around than a contact lens. See? They're almost invisible. Most people only notice how much better you're hearing. If you want straight answers about your hearing, the choice is clear. Beltone.
Call 1-800-922-7500 now and get straight answers to your hearing questions in Beltone's Guide to Better Hearing. It's free. Call now and you'll also get this free hearing test coupon. Call today, 1-800-922-7500. That's 1-800-922-7500.
There's real traffic trouble today in Hoboken. A water main break has forced the closing of a 2-block area. It's from First to Newark and Jefferson to Madison. Crews expect to have the break repaired within the hour and have disrupted water service restored soon after that. Millions of TV viewers in our area only get 13 channels. That's because they don't have cable. But our I-Team's Joe Collum reports today that finally is changing.
Seconds left in the fourth quarter. Starts. Yes! Ain't that America? It is gone!
News you need to know.
Why doesn't the South Bronx have cable?
We want cable now.
One of the running jokes in the Bronx has been that Russia will get it before we do.
It's been 20 years since cable television first came to New York City. Manhattan has had it since the early 1970s. This is a spool of television cable that is now being laid for the first time in the streets of the South Bronx. The fact is that now in 1993, there are still millions of New Yorkers who have never had access to cable television. 60% of all households in the USA today are hooked up to cable television. But of the 440,000 homes here in the Bronx, only 18% have cable.
New York Yankees baseball on MSG is brought to you
One ironic result is people living in the shadows of Yankee Stadium rarely get to see their own Bronx Bombers on TV.
Kevin Moss launches one. It's gone.
Because 3 out of every 4 games are broadcast on cable TV.
Into the balcony near where Roger Maris hit number 61.
That's the most absurd part of it. You have the stadium right across the street, and yet, less than 100 yards away, you can't even watch the ball game.
Stan's Sports Bar across from the stadium becomes a neighborhood mecca on nights like Tuesday. The Yanks and Knicks were both playing, and if you wanted to see them, you needed either a ticket or cable TV.
Cable company won't give us cable on this part of the Bronx.
No cable.
No cable?
No.
Why is that?
We have no idea.
Stan's doesn't have cable either, but it does have a satellite dish. It was the only place locals could go Tuesday to watch the Knicks playoff game. Kids had to stand outside.
Listen to the radio and I watch the game. I'm set.
Now, how come from outside?
Well, I can't go in a bar. I know when I'm going to bars.
Why is that?
18.
Fans enjoyed the game, but resented having to leave their homes to see it, just because they live in the Bronx.
I do not like that. I do not like the feeling that I have no choice. I want to have a choice and say, okay, I want cable now.
The few who have cable in the Bronx are about to get their own public access channel, BXNY.
The weather for tonight is mostly cloudy.
Where anyone can be a weatherman, and the accent will be on the Bronx, which feels shortchanged by cable.
It's incorporated into our whole psyche, the whole concept of cable. And to be out of that loop is like being out of touch with the direction in which all of society is moving. So yeah, of course you're gonna, how can you not feel that?
The Bronx isn't the only place that wants its MTV. In Brooklyn, only 16% of households are hooked to cable. More than 700,000 homes still get their TV the old-fashioned way. Although in Brooklyn's Seagate, there are many rooftop satellite dishes.
It's really unbelievable. You can go, start at 95 from New Jersey, go all the way to Key West, Florida. And in every little town with maybe 100 people, they have cable. But here in Brooklyn, with thousands and thousands of residents, we don't have cable.
The people who live in those areas have certainly a reasonable argument in complaining about it.
Some blame the delay in cable for Brooklyn and the Bronx on a federal corruption probe, which halted cable installations for 2 years during the mid-1980s.
The mayor wanted the federal prosecutor to assure him that there was nothing wrong. And when that finally happened, he signed off on it.
There's no defense there.
Queens and Staten Island are 100% wired for cable. And while Manhattan has already replaced its original cable network with a new one, the Bronx has yet to have its first completed system. Folks here have their own opinions about why.
We're a minority neighborhood right here in the South Bronx here. You don't see white people living here, so we won't get cable.
But cable is coming to the Bronx and Brooklyn. The job is nearly 50% complete, and by September 1994, both boroughs are scheduled to finally have their MTV.
You play the guitar on the MTV.
Joe Collum, Channel 9 I-Team.
Now some stories we're watching from around the world. The Polish government is in disarray today after ousting its prime minister in a no-confidence vote. It's the 5th administration to fall since the communists were toppled in 1989. Germany's abortion law has been overturned. The highest court declared it unconstitutional because the law isn't restrictive enough in protecting human life. The measure was a unification of East and West German abortion laws. An Indonesian man set a new world record for sit-ups. He did 7,202 sit-ups in 3 hours, 18 minutes, and 30 seconds. The record holder is a sergeant in the Indonesian Armed Forces. In Florence, Italy, angry Italians are demanding an end to terrorism 1 day after the bombing that killed 5 people and caused millions of dollars in damage to one of the world's great art museums, the famous Uffizi Gallery. Still ahead, Jay Leno's second thoughts about Cheers. Also, why Michael Jackson is battling some rappers over Beatles music. And Stallone's new thriller. Pat reviews Cliffhanger.
me there?
For Meryl Streep, life isn't always easy.
I'm gonna kill myself. Don't say that, even in jest. Just come out of a drug clinic. People might take it the wrong way.
Especially if Shirley MacLaine's your famous mother and Dennis Quaid your unfaithful lover.
Relax, they're blank.
Carrie Fisher's acclaimed comedy hit.
Oh, me.
Postcards from the Edge.
Tonight at 8 on Channel 9.
How about poor Fred Wilson? What a shame. So soon after retiring.
I hear his wife needed help with the funeral expenses.
Oh, that's ridiculous. He had Social Security.
Oh, when my brother died, his wife received a check from Social Security, all right, for $255. Oh. Funeral costs were more than $4,000.
Now, how on earth did she pay for it?
Fortunately, my brother bought some additional life insurance a few years before he retired.
I'll bet that cost a pretty penny, huh?
Not with Intra-America. Each unit costs just $6.95 a month. Less than 25 cents a day. I have it myself.
We both do.
Both of you?
That's right. Neither one of us had to answer any health questions or take a physical exam. In fact, no one our age can be turned down, regardless of health.
No one?
No.
Is this a plan that offers a lot of protection at first and then reduces it little by little each year?
No. I've had this coverage for years. My benefit never decreases.
Your rates go up every year, right?
No, not at all.
Friends, keep telling friends about whole life insurance from Inter-America. With this coverage, your premium never increases for any reason, and your benefit won't decrease simply because you grow older. If you're over 50, you cannot be turned down. Inter-America Life Insurance Company specializes in protection for mature men and women. To find out more, call now.
Call toll-free 1-800-937-2280 for free information. And receive this handy guide to Social Security absolutely free. That's 1-800-937-2280.
Hello, Inter-America?
Call now for your free information and your free book. That's 1-800-937-2280. Call now. There's no obligation. 1-800-937-2280.
There's a rap on the Beatles, and that has Michael Jackson bent out of shape. Pete Fuentes tells us this battle may hip-hop into court.
Lucy in the sky with diamonds. Lucy in the sky with diamonds.
Or the Beatles. It's more of a choppy, more rhythmic type of thing. Why not? I don't see Beatles in rap. Well, it'll be an injustice.
Picture yourself in a boat on a river with tangerine trees and...
It will be raw to the core, the way I'm sure the Beatles intended it.
Rapper YZ says rap versions of Beatles songs are due in the music stores one day this summer. Critics say it will be a hard day's night.
I turn it off the first time I hear it. Anyone who's really into rap, I don't think they'll buy it. And we're going to show them how it is done in the 90s.
Not so fast. The music company, 57 Sunset Entertainment, can't do it without a little help from friends.
But if you want to take a song and really put it into a rap flavoring and a hip-hop flavoring, that might be considered a derivative, and for that you need not just to pay royalties, but permission.
I understand that Michael Jackson bought the rights.
So we turned around and we went to ATV, the music publishing company that Michael Jackson owned. And they said, hey, great idea. All of a sudden now they backed away and we're asserting our rights legally in court.
It's a $76 million breach of contract suit against ATV Music and Michael Jackson.
He's kind of a drag.
Jackson's publishing company says ATV never reneged on any license agreement, as no such agreement ever existed.
And they have to respond in 2 weeks. I wish that they could just, to take a Beatles theme, come together with us and get on board with us with this project and make the whole nastiness go away.
Yeah, they're not gods. I mean, you know, they're just four guys. I mean, I play their records backwards. I play them slowed down and speeded up.
Lucy in the sky with diamonds. No. Listen, 57 Entertainment even asked Paul McCartney and Yoko Ono for permission. ATV says permission was denied. Take a ticket to ride.
You have to become me to be you. You know what I'm saying? Be you.
Let me.
Lucy in the sky with diamonds.
Lucia en el cielo con diamantes.
And is that how you see it?
Man. In Manhattan, Pete Fuentes, Channel 9 News.
The rapper label says the Beatles' rap album is intended as a commercial release. However, a percentage of the proceeds will go to homeless charities. Some names we're taking note of this Friday afternoon. Actress Melanie Griffith. She's been released from a Colorado hospital after a one-day stay. She fainted at her home on Wednesday. Doctors blame it on fatigue. She and her actor husband Don Johnson have just finished a whirlwind movie publicity tour. Jay Leno says that open bar for cast members during the Cheers finale was a big mistake. He did The Tonight Show live from Boston's Bull and Finch pub that night, and if you saw it, you might have noticed that it was kind of a tough go. Leno told a local newspaper cast members got so drunk they couldn't do the bits they'd rehearsed. Sylvester Stallone didn't need much rehearsing for his new movie. Cliffhanger is an action thriller, the type of movie that he does best. Sly says he likes to do movies where he can push it, something he gets to do in the rock climbing scenes. Cliffhanger opens at many theaters today. Will it be another bonanza for Sly? Pat Collins has a review.
There's a lot riding on Cliffhanger, like its $65 million budget and a chance for Sylvester Stallone to revive his career. The question is the movie as good as its coming attractions trailer? What do you notice about this trailer? That's right, there's no dialogue. That's because the dialogue in Cliffhanger wouldn't sell a ticket to Stallone's mother. Just listen.
Look, Al, it was a bad time for everybody.
What the hell do you know about bad times, man?
Sly knows bad times at the box office. But even with a story that's thinner than mountain air, Cliffhanger gives Stallone the comeback hit he needs.
I don't want to die! Sarah! Reach up and grab him! Reach up!
Sarah, reach up!
Come on, honey! Use your other hand!
Reach up!
Reach up now!
Stallone loses a novice climber, blames himself, and retires from the mountains until his girlfriend challenges him to a rescue mission.
Look, Jesse, I haven't climbed in months. You just lose the feel.
Maybe you mean the nerve.
Lose his nerve? Not the man who played Rocky and Rambo and bench pressed Bridget Nielsen. Stallone climbs that mountain only to find his stranded climbers are 5 murderers who have lost $100 million in stolen cash when their plane went down. From here, Cliffhanger is a high-speed toboggan ride of deadly hide-and-seek. Stallone is in great physical shape. He does a lot of his own stunt work, 13,000 feet up. It's supposed to be the Colorado Rockies, but it's really the Italian Alps, and every shot is spectacular. Cliffhanger comes from Rennie Harlan, who directed Die Hard 2. Call this Climb Harder. Forget the dialogue, after all the writers did, and hang on for an action movie that doesn't skimp on the action.
Go, Jesse, run!
From its heart-stopping start to an explosive finale, Cliffhanger is a sky-high adventure and a B+ with cinematography you've never seen before. It's rated R for violence and language. Cliffhanger will easily win the Memorial Day box office race and become the first real hit of the Hollywood summer. I'm Pat Collins, Channel 9 News.
Still ahead, Lloyd's coming back to update us on the long holiday weekend weather. Also, investors who scam their brokers, and you could wind up paying. The Bottom Line report is up next.